Hello, folks, and welcome to the Counting Sheep podcast. My name is Ruth, and this is episode 76. Welcome to my little corner of the YouTube universe where I talk about all things fiber, mostly crocheting, knitting, spinning, and what I get up to here and around my small sheep farm in Vermont. If you're new here, welcome. I hope you find something that resonates with you. And if you are a returning viewer, welcome back. Thank you so much for your comments. I certainly appreciate your support. If you like what you see, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment. I certainly love to read your comments, and where you can find me on the socials. I am Rabbit Lady on Ravelry. I am Counting Sheep at Sunrise Hill on Instagram and Threads, and I am Counting Sheep on Facebook. But like I always say, if you really need to get a hold of me, I have an email for the podcast or for the Shopcast. Gosh, I just recorded a Shopcast for the Woolly Thistle, so I have Shopcast on the brain. This is my podcast, and my email for my podcast is sunrisehillfarm@crafts@gmail.com. Trying to keep it all straight sometimes. Can be a little challenging. So sometimes you see me over on the Woolly Thistle. I am an employee of the Woolly Thistle. I spend most of my time over there in their fulfillment department, putting together the orders which go out in the mail. Some of the time I sit next to either Maggie or Corrine on the Shopcast and help them out with showing you all the lovely goodies that they have over there. And sometimes I offer them some of my crochet prowess. So you might catch me over there sometimes. So I have a lot to show you for this episode, so I'm going to jump right in. I usually start with crocheting, move on to knitting. I have some spinning this time. I also have some acquisitions that I left out of the podcast last time because I didn't want everything to go too long. Maybe I'll get to those and show you some of that too. So I'm going to start with my crochet, and if you've been with me for over the summer, you know I've been doing like my summer of socks thing with the crochet. And I got to share some of that with the Woolly Thistle this past week. So I have exciting news for the July socks. I showed them the last time, I think, my completed July socks. This was Summer Sunset socks, Summer Sunset socks, I believe. I want to make sure I got the name right. Summer Sunset socks. These were the July socks. This is the Karen Woolley's socks. She's doing a pair each month of the summer. She started in June, which were the Ocean Wave socks. I don't have those with me right now. And then these were the Summer Sunset socks. And what she's been doing is, if you get them done within the month's time and you submit a picture and just a little information about them, like what the yarn you used and your name and that sort of thing, she puts you in a drawing. And I happily won the July drawing, which I'm so excited about. And what it is just she draws your name, and you win the yarn that she used for her pair of socks for that month. So that was, she used Knit Picks yarn, which is very nice. It's a very smooth yarn. Sorry about the crinkling here. But what she used was the Stroll Knit Picks. So this is a fingering weight yarn. In the colors, this is Strawberry. This is, let me see if I can find the name on this one. Sometimes, Bowie. That's Bowie. And then this one is Deep Purple. So, yeah, which is really good because when I was down visiting my mom in New Jersey last month in July, she was admiring these socks, and I was just finishing them up at the time. And she says, "Who are those for, Ruth?" And I said, "Well, I don't know, maybe they could be for you." And she was so kind of happy and joyful about that. So, so yeah, I'm going to give her these and then knit myself a pair out of this yarn from Karen Hooley. So I was kind of really excited because I don't know, I had, she has a kind of a Google Meets meeting, so we can show off all of our socks, and I thought I had logged in correctly and something happened and I was kind of disappointed, but so I wasn't there for the drawing, but then she emailed me later and she goes, "I did draw your name, so you won." So I was kind of happy about that. And so yeah, she sent the yarn off in the mail to me, so that was kind of fun. Yeah, so anyway, that was July. And then wanted to share with you what I'm doing in August. I kind of alluded to the fact that about the yarn and everything for August. So let me show you the pattern. I think this is where it is. I have so many patterns kicking around here right now. But anyway, this is Summer's Last Glow for August. It came out August 1st. And I ended up choosing a yarn that the Woolly Thistle only carries sporadically, only because I believe the company only puts this particular yarn combination together very, not all the time. Like it's exclusive. Let's just say that. This is called, this is from Woolly Mammoth Fiber Company. It's out of the UK. Yeah, it's a Britain and Ireland combination, and I believe it's Jacob BFL. Yeah, the 50-50 combination. And it's their hearth sock, and I got the mustard colorway, and all that means is that I got this as the main color, which is kind of a gray. And then I got this color as kind of a contrast color. And because these are crochet, I divided up the skeins, and I'm doing both at the same time. I'm kind of, I'm doing one up to a certain point, and then I'm stopping and I'm going to the other side, to the other one, and doing the other one. So here, I'm on this one right now, but this is where I went up to on the first one so far, so I should turn them around. So these are top down. So they're a little different from the first two pair that I did. The first pair, the Ocean Wave socks, were toe up. The second pair was a top down sock, and these are top down. But this is a much woollier wool of yarn that I'm using. So, so a much, how should we say, it's a toothier yarn, and a much more winter type of sock, much more made for a boot type of sock, but I am all there for it. These will definitely be going in my boots. So to me, these are like mountains. And this is Summer's Last Glow, so I'm thinking she's probably, thinking of also a sunset or some kind of thing like that, or, going into autumn or something like that. So I'm all there for it. But let's see, hook size, I'm using a 3.25, but which is a D size hook. But for the ribbing, I did go down a size. The pattern tells you to start with a C hook for the ribbing. But yeah, her instructions are very very clear. So yeah, so doing well with that. Doing well with the socks for the summer of socks. I'm so glad that I've been able to keep up with my crochet socks over the summer, and now I know I can do a pair of socks within a month's time. So I'm just a very slow sock knitter, not so much a sock crocheter. I can pretty much keep up with things. So those are my socks. Let me make sure I told you everything about that. I did. And then my other project, which is the ongoing everlasting Starlight cardigan. Let me just grab the picture, which went on the floor. This is, of course, my Starlight cardigan. I'm just going to put it up to the camera a little bit there so you can see the texture on that. This is by Ashley Rivas, and it's in her book of this is the book here, Tunisian Crochet Tops. I am doing mine in Fiber Stash Dye Works, which she is a local dyer to me here in Vermont. I have both fronts done, which I've shown before here on the podcast. So these are the two fronts and the texture there. This is a fingering weight yarn. It's actually her sock weight yarn. These rows are quite long. So I pick it up every so now and then and put a row on. And as you know, with Tunisian, there's two parts to every row. The forward pass where you pick up the stitches. So I have completed a forward pass here, just so I could show you. It makes it easier to illustrate the pattern without it all curling up on itself. And then I will complete the reverse pass, which is working off all these loops. I am using an H hook, which is a size 8, or a 5mm hook in metric size. So the ribbing is done on a regular crochet hook, regular H hook I believe I used. Once you have all the rows done on the ribbing, then you pick up along the side here. So yeah, so I have a feeling this is going to take some time, the back, because of how big of a piece it is, of course. So, but I'll keep tooling away on it. It's a nice fabric. It's a beautiful drape. I am still on my second skein of this yarn, and I've said it before, the yardage on these skeins is incredible. You know, I got this little nugget left yet of yarn for the second skein, and then I'll be on to my third skein, which I'm sure will complete the back, and then I'll be on to the sleeves. The finishing will be the neckline and of course the front bands. Yeah, so that's my Starlight. It's going to be really kind of one of these pieces that is going to stay with me for a while, because it's kind of turned into almost like a year-long project for me, and that's okay. You know, I'm enjoying it, and as a matter of fact, at the Woolly Thistle, I've almost been turned into kind of the Tunisian expert, like you know. Ever since I did the Tunisian vest, which I've had on the podcast here, and it spent some time in the shop at work, I've kind of gotten this reputation for being a Tunisian person. And we have a new employee there who asked me if I could spend some time with her doing Tunisian. So we kind of made a date, and tomorrow we're going out for coffee, and another lady at work wanted to join us, so now we have kind of a Tunisian group that's going to meet for coffee and maybe a sandwich and do some Tunisian together. So I find that great. I love that kind of fellowship where you can go out and meet outside of the workplace and just enjoy a craft together, like a specific type of craft together. And I wonder if any of you do that yourselves. Yeah, comment below if that's something that takes off for you as well, like at work, or if you have another group of that meets and then you just decide, hey, you know, you want to go grab a cup of coffee and, you know, go over some knitting technique or, you know, whatever. Or maybe it's not even knitting or crochet. Maybe it's some other kind of interest that you have, maybe reading, or, you know, I mean, I'm an avid reader myself, but, you know, we all have different interests, and I find it nice when you can like carve out a little piece of time to like just enjoy that aspect of things and share your knowledge with people. So yeah, that's great. Tomorrow, a little outside of work time, doing some Tunisian. All right, so on to knitting. Another whip that's been, you know, on the podcast several times is my simple pie vest. I have made decisions with the simple pie. Let me show you the picture first for those of you who are just joining me. The simple pie vest is from Peace Fleece, and Peace Fleece is a yarn spun by Harrisville Designs, who are local to me here. They are in Harrisville, New Hampshire. This is a very, as the name will tell you, this is a very simple vest. It is done in pieces, however, I have gone a little off piece, no pun intended, with this, in that I am doing mine in the round. They will tell you to knit for 16 inches here. I am, however, a short-waisted person. I am a short person, first of all, and then I am also short-waisted. So I finally decided on a measurement that I felt good about at stopping, and then realized that there's this armhole edge treatment, this garter edge, armhole edge, in addition to that 16 inches that they tell you to do. So I'm going to have, in addition to the 12.5 that I decided upon, there's going to be a little bit more anyway. That's fine. And sometimes I'm better about reading ahead on patterns than normally, but you know how it is. Sometimes, you know, sometimes I just jump right in, you know. Sometimes that's just how it is. But anyway, here is the armhole treatment, which is just garter. And this is going to be the side seam here, where I have my little stitch marker here. It's also the beginning of my round, but and then this is the other side. This is the marking of the side seam. So right now I'm just doing kind of this garter stitch treatment, and then I'm going to divide for the armholes finally. I know you've been waiting with bated breath. When is she ever going to divide for the armholes? But yeah, it's coming. I can feel it within the next week. It's going to happen. But anyway, for all of you who need the details again, this is Kamchatka Sea Moss. That's the colorway of Peace Fleece that I'm doing this in. Yep, and like I said, I'm doing mine in the round. Normally, the pattern instructs you to go back and forth. and do it in pieces and then seam it up the sides. It has a V-neck. I will be doing the back first once I've divided for the armholes. And then I think once I divide and start doing just the back, it should start to swim along a little faster. Yeah, once I start going back and forth. Yeah, but this is definitely one of those patterns, and I've said it before, that is good for a beginner, you know, like if you want to, like a first garment type of thing. There's kind of minimal shaping to it, of course, until you get to the V-neck. But, you know, there's no sleeves to it, so you don't have to worry about that. And, yeah, and it's so nice to do something in a worsted weight yarn. It goes faster, even though I am not an example of that. I start a worsted weight garment at the beginning of summer, so that's not a very fast thing to do. So, but what can I say? Sometimes I don't make very wise decisions. So yeah, that's my simple pie. Here's my new project, however, and this is exciting for me. I showed you last time that I was going to start another little one of those kerchiefs, you know, because I got my other one done and I was really happy about it. This is the Pressed Flowers kerchief, and this is by Amy Christophers. And she has several different patterns with this same kind of iteration pattern. Oh gosh, the sun is coming through my window now and is going to mess with my lighting. Well, hopefully you get the idea. I picked up a skein of Peace Fleece DK. This is Anna's Grasshopper. I've got a green thing going on right now. And then this is some Spin Cycle. This is their sport weight. And this colorway is Big Sky. And I have to show you this. This is super sweet. I started this, I think maybe 2 days ago. And let me tell you, this is potato chippy. If you don't know that term, potato chippy, for those of you who love potato chips, and I don't know one person who doesn't, try and eat just one. Yeah, so that term is like, you just can't have you just can't have one flower here. Like you have to go on and make one more, you know, and that's how I felt about this flower. I was like, oh, let me go see what this one looks like. And I feel like that for the next one, you know, like it's just such a sweet little pattern. Of course, you increase with every single row you go, so it does get bigger and the rows take a little bit longer, but it goes fast because it's garter stitch. And you know, you do get to a point where, since it is a kerchief and it's a triangle, you'll get to the middle and then you start decreasing. So, but yeah, I just think it's adorable. And because you've got this spin cycle, you're changing colors too eventually, and you want to see what the next color is going to be. And that might be, looks like it's going to be orange to yellow. It's a pink right now. Hard to see with the sunlight messing with my lighting. But yeah, I just love this. And you know, I'm going to make it probably a little bigger than what the store sample was, because when I was in Harrisville, that's what they told me, kind of, they recommended that, you know, it would fit better. So that's probably what I'm going to do. But yeah, so I bought the extra skein for that purpose. But yeah, I'm really chuffed with that. I'm so glad I bought that. You know, you do these impulse buys sometimes. You're like, oh, okay, I'll get to that someday. But I was like, boy, I bought this a couple months ago and I'm already getting to it. And I'm like, woo, I really like this project. Makes you feel good, you know. So yeah, that is my pressed flowers kerchief. Once again, Piece Fleece DK and Spin Cycle yarns, Big Sky. And the Piece Fleece DK is Anna's Grasshopper. The other thing I did, against my better judgment, is swatch for another sweater, a knitted sweater. And that's only because I kind of felt the pull because the Woolly Thistle is starting their annual sweater knit along this Friday. Yeah, they have the cast on party, I believe, Friday night, which is the 21st. Today's the 18th, yeah, so it'll be this Friday, which is the 21st. If you haven't signed up yet, it's really easy, it's free. I think you get something like some ridiculous amount of points when you sign up. Pips, they call them, points in progress. And I decided, I had been going back and forth about what I wanted to do, because a lot of the vanilla sweater kits had been going out of the store and a lot of people are doing the vanilla sweater, but I had bought enough yarn to do the Lunenburg sweater. I had visited Lunenburg, Nova Scotia around this time last year. I believe it was in September last year. And if you don't know, Amy Christopher's again. This woman is bad for my wallet. She visited Lunenburg, Nova Scotia, and designed a sweater just for that town. It's a beautiful little coastal town in Nova Scotia. We were there last fall, and this is the sweater that she designed for that town. And the Woolly Thistle carries the yarn for this sweater. Now they carry the main color, the two main colors that you can do this in, and those choices are the coal color, which is kind of a grayish, you know, dark gray, and then lake, which is a dark blue. But I really liked the evergreen that the lichen and lace comes in. I didn't mention it. The yarn for it is lichen and lace, which is a Canadian yarn that is spun in New Brunswick, not Maine, Canada. So this is the evergreen. I just adore this green color. And so I have swatched, and I am completely on gauge. And if you've been with me before, I tend to put these things on the calendar when I get on gauge, because I am never on gauge, the pattern gauge. I always have to go down a couple of sizes, and this is a size 5, and I am getting gauge with a size 5 needle, which is just surprising to me. So yeah, so this pattern takes size 3 and size 5 for the body, size 3 needles for the ribbing. Yeah, so this is going to be my main color, which is the evergreen. The other colors are, this is pollen, and then sky is the other color for the color work, birch. And then I bought sage because I thought this green would work better with the evergreen, but I'm still on the fence. The pattern calls for shrub, which is a darker, more brownish type of yellow. And so I have gone ahead and ordered another a skein of the shrub. And when I start to do the color work, I will decide between the sage and the shrub, which one will work out better. It was just kind of one of those things. I was just pondering, you know, I bought the sage because I like this color green, but I may just go back to what the designer originally intended for the color work. So we'll just have to see how that works out. I don't think I will probably get this done at all. I am not, as a Woolly Thistle employee, I am not prize eligible. I just kind of, you know, work along during these knit-alongs just for the fun of it. I also have my Starlight cardigan that I really want to move along with. So I'm going to be kind of doing both at the same time and, you know, kind of picking one up as the spirit moves me, you know, whichever. But I just thought it would be nice to kind of do something in wool, in yarn that's from the Woolly Thistle, and then also kind of do the crochet thing too, so that I can encourage the crocheters at the Woolly Thistle as well. So yeah, so that's where all that inspiration is coming from. The visit to Lunenburg, Nova Scotia, if you can ever get up there, beautiful part of the world to visit. All right, so and in spinning, finally, is I wanted to share with you, I happened to be passing by my my Louette's spinning wheel, which has been neglected for several months now, realizing that there was some singles on there, and it was like halfway through a plying job that I just kind of abandoned, and I thought to myself, I need to finish that. So I sat down and I finished it. This is has been on the podcast. This is a fiber I got from Feederbrook Farm when I was at Rhinebeck, otherwise known as the New York Sheep and Wool Festival, 2 years ago in the fall. It was 2024, and this is an unknown fiber. I think this was just kind of a fiber that they put together from several breeds, but they do small batch dyeing, and I did a 2-ply. This was a huge kind of bat that they had, and I just wanted to show you what it came out to be. This is over 500 yards here of a 2-ply. This is 530 yards. And then there's this small little skein, which turned out to be 50 some odd yards. I want to say 56 yards. Yeah, I'm so happy with this. And what it's going to be, don't know yet. But I was really, really happy with the spin on this. This has been blocked already. I put it through a wash, and yeah, I just really, really, really like this. So I thought I'd share it with you just as a finished object in my spinning finally. My other little projects in spinning have been coming along very slowly. But I figured since this was in the middle of being, you know, it was in the middle of being plied, and I just kind of left it. I was like, that was just sitting there begging to be done. So finally sat down and made some time for that. All right, so I just want to go over some things that I acquired while I was in Maine last month, and maybe a few other things that I got that are of interest. Before I got to camp, I kind of was going up the coast of Maine, and there was one yarn shop that kind of stuck out for me, and it was called the Cashmere Goat, and it was kind of near to where I was going, and decided to stop in there. And really cute little shop, nice owners. I got on their mailing list, and so yeah, I stopped in and bought some local fiber, well, a local skein of yarn. This is some sock yarn, and it's from On the Round, and it's made in Thomaston, Maine. So hopefully you can see all the nice little speckles in there. It's kind of on a white, off-white background. Yeah, this is a superwash merino wool, 85-15, 15 nylon, about 394 yards. So yeah, that kind of caught my eye. And then the other thing I picked up at that shop is a book on circular weaving. This caught my eye only because one of the things, and then when I looked through the book, I just thought this is just really interesting stuff in here. Not only just for wall hanging decor or whatever, but they have a rug in here that you can make with a hula hoop. And I have a couple of hula hoops that you can use to make a rug with. And I thought this was just really interesting. And you know, when you just use the hula hoop to put your warp threads on, and then after you're done weaving, you just cut it off the hula hoop. And then you have this really neat circular rug to use. I just find it fascinating. And for this particular, for the rug, you're using like fabric scraps, which, you know, I have a lot of fabric scraps. So I thought it would be a good way to use up a lot of scrap yarn as well, because you can use yarn held, you know, like double and triple and quadruple. You know, you don't have to hold it just in a single. So yeah, you can just kind of use up yarn that way. You know, all your leftovers, you know, things like that. So yeah, so I just, I was quite impressed with this book. It's by Emily Nicolaides, and I'm not quite sure when it was put out. I was having trouble finding a date on this book, when it was put out exactly. Let me see. Oh, 2022. There we go. But yeah, I mean, just a little small, you know, small loom weaving. Something else to sink my teeth into, you know. So anyway, that was from the Cashmere Goat. They have an online store as well, so if you want to check them out. Something else I bought, another skein of sock yarn. This is from Casey Ryder. She has a store in Portland, Maine. She was an instructor at Medomic Fiber Arts Retreat, which I attended. I did not take a class from her, but I wanted to, so maybe next year, Casey. Casey Ryder, she's wonderful, but anyway, her store is wonderful as well. She has this sock yarn that she dyes herself, and if you know Casey, she loves to dance, so of course she names it Dance 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 Sock, and she names it after certain songs, and this one happened to be Come Sail Away. Yeah, so I like that a lot. I bought that from her. And then another instructor at Medomic was Blue Vermeer, and she can be found at www.bluebirdcreations.com. Her Instagram is @bluebirdcreations, and she makes the most wonderful supported spindles as well as drop spindles. She does a lot of work on turning on a lathe, and yeah, and I couldn't resist. I bought a lovely supported spindle from her. This one is made out of Coco Bolo Demolux wood, and then also the little dish that the spindle is supported in, and it spins just beautifully. And yeah, just I was just in awe of how well this spins. Then of course I needed some fiber to go along with it, and so Bristol Ivy was also an instructor there. She happens to be a knitting designer as well as an instructor, and I did take a class from her. I mentioned that in my last podcast. She had some very well carded hand washed Maine Romney. This is a natural colored Romney. So I thought this would go really well with the supported spindle in terms of just having a really nice open fiber to practice with on the supported spindle. So I went ahead and bought that. It's nice to buy local fiber when you're in that area. So yeah, that was some of the stuff I got from Maine. And I think the other couple things I'm going to save for the next time. I wanted to really get to this to show you the stuff that I got from Maine. And the other couple things are books that I've acquired through the mail, so I'll show them on the next podcast. So until then, keep crafting, and yeah, let me know what you're up to. And until the next time, I'll see you soon, and stay safe, and yeah. And next time will be September, and gee, the summer's gone fast, hasn't it? All right, so fall's coming, and time to get knitting and crocheting again if you've taken the summer off from those types of things. So yeah, so time to get cracking, right? All right. See you in 2 weeks. Take care now. Bye-bye.